Welcome to Fight Club. The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
All right, you just saw a scene from Fight Club, but what about if that Fight Club is inside a preschool and the participants are little children?
Oh, shocking. According to New Jersey prosecutors, two daycare workers posted the preschool playground's beatdowns on Snapchat. Take a look.
About a dozen children, boys and girls, between the ages of 4 and 6, just fighting, throwing each other to the ground, hitting each other.
22-year-old Erica Kenny and 28-year-old Shanae White, both daycare workers at Lightbridge Academy, have been charged with child abuse. Kenny is accused of sending the fight video to her friends on Snapchat. One of them alerted police. Investigators say Kenny is heard on the video quoting lines from the Fight Club movie. And get this, we are told that Shanae White is a pastor.
Ugh, not the right kind of pastor, that's for sure. Joining us now, mom blogger Adriana Velez. And Adriana, you don't have to be a parent to be shocked by this, obviously. We've seen a lot of daycare failures over the years, from kids being left alone to abuse by people who work at these daycares. Other than just plain blind faith, how do you really know what's going on once you drop your kids off at these daycares?
Well, there's a number of things you can do. You can check with the licensing agency. Does the daycare center have a license? Is it up to date? Check with the agency to find out if there have been any complaints or violations lodged against that daycare center. I recommend visiting the daycare center before you sign up your kid in the first place. Find out what the employee to child ratio is, how large the groups are, what the employment requirements are. If they're required to know CPR, that might indicate the level of quality they're expecting from their workers. You may want to observe how the kids are interacting with the care providers and vice versa. If you can get there towards the end of the day, that may also be enlightening. You can talk to other parents and find out how they feel about their kids' experience there. And I think parents often can have kind of a sense of how these adults are with kids. You can trust your gut to a certain extent. Of course, that's no guarantee. I think the hardest part about this, though, is that that's assuming you have some choice, and a lot of parents don't have any choice.
And a lot of parents don't have that choice, right, because of the financial situation that they're in, because, you know, it's like the cheaper the daycare, the better in certain situations for some parents that are living paycheck to paycheck. Do you think you're going too far if you want to interview the employees at certain daycare centers? Because, you know, I don't have kids, but I feel like I'd like to know exactly who it is that's taking care of my kid every single day. And plus, there's a lot of turnover at these places.
There can be. I think it's absolutely reasonable to interview the people who will be taking care of your kids. They're going to be with them all day long. So you want, even just for your own peace of mind, you want to know who these people are who are spending their days with your child.
No question. Adriana, just really quickly, what do you do if you suspect something is going on? Give us 2 or 3 things that any parent should do immediately if they suspect something.
Well, I think depending on the age of your child, you may want to talk to them and find out, you know, using the most neutral tone of voice you can possibly use so they don't get alarmed, what their perspective on what's happening is. Okay. That's assuming they're old enough.
So talk to your kids.
I would talk to a supervisor. You could say, I get the sense that this, that, and the other is happening. Could you tell me more about why that could be happening? Could you give an extra look? See if that resolves the problem, and then if it doesn't, then you talk to that supervisor again and follow up.
But law enforcement only after you've had those conversations, presumably if you're just under the suspicion. Adriana Velez, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sure.